Welcome, 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 everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our Be Black Economic Empowerment Series. Hello, how is everybody doing today? My name is Wabette Johansson, and I will be your hostess for today. And you guys, we have a very, very special session planned for you today. From our first series, you guys, back in February, we sent out a survey, and we said, what do you guys want to hear about? And I guarantee you, almost every survey said out of state investing. So here it is. So before we get started, you guys, I want to briefly go over and introduce to you the founders of the Be Movement. We started this back in February during Black History Month. And 5 of us got together and we said, what can we do to help our community? And we talked about, you guys, this being the 100th anniversary of Black Wall Street. 100th anniversary, you guys. And so you say, you know what, we want to make an impact on our community. And that's why, you guys, we came up with B, Black Economic Empowerment. And if you guys heard the song, the last song that was played, you guys, it says, it's time to make a change. And it is. And you guys, we are the people that will do it. So that's our theme song, okay? So let me, guys, introduce to you the founders of the Be Movement. You guys will see, there's me. Once again, Wabette Johansson. I am a real estate broker owner of Bridgeway Realty, as well as a life insurance broker. I am a Bay Area native, grew up in Berkeley, and you guys, love the Bay Area. So that's me. Next to me is co-founder Miss Jill Johnson. And you guys, Jill Johnson is gosh, how can I even describe her? She is a true entrepreneur. Jill has had her own restaurant. She's had her own life insurance agency. And you guys, she's somebody that very much, you guys, cares about our community. She is a mom. Her son is his first year in college. It's probably killing her over there, to have her son away. But you guys, for me, guys, Jill is my mentor. There was a Facebook anniversary of me and Jill 6 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, 6 years. But you guys, she's been with me for 10 years. For 10 years, guys, from day one, she has been my mentor. And to this day, calls me every day to check on me, to make sure that, I'm achieving my dreams. So Jill Johnson, thank you for that. Next, we have Helena J. Connolly, and she is an insurance strategist, but we also call her the money educator because her background is in education. Helena has 2 degrees in math, Helena. I think she has 2 degrees in math. She was a math teacher in LA school district. And you guys, money educator, but also, you guys, a great speaker as well. So that's Helena J. Connolly. Then we have, you want to scroll down a little bit, we have Miss Anita Ferns, who is a financial consultant, but her background, you guys, is actually from engineering. And I forgot what kind of engineer you were, Anita.
Software
engineer for over 30 years, right? 30 years, you guys, software engineer. Okay, so you guys, found you guys, believe me, you guys, diverse background, right? Then we have Miss Lisa McCombs, who was also an engineer. I think she was a petroleum engineer. Is that right? Got that right. And you guys, she also runs her own life insurance school. So you guys, 5 members that came together to say that we want to help our community. So you guys, please give you guys an applause to all of our founders. So you guys, this series, we started off, you guys, last week with Miss Helena J. Connolly, talking about how money works, smart money moves. That was last week. Today, we're going to have Miss Rhea Cotton talk about investing out of state. And then next Thursday, we'll have Chris Horton, who guys is over the program for Black entrepreneurs. Okay, they have 100 million in funding for Black entrepreneurs, and he will be here next Thursday to talk about that project. Okay, I also want to thank our partners, Women's Councils of Associated Real Estate Property Brokers, Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce, and the Small Business Development Center, you guys. That's our partners and sponsors. Give them a round of applause as well. And today, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I am very, very pleased to introduce our guest speaker. Her name is Miss Rhea Cotton. She is the broker owner of Cotton Realty. She has been in, you guys, real estate since 2004, and she does both residential and commercial real estate. She also, you guys, was a recipient of Powerful Woman of the Bay Area Entrepreneur of the Year Award. I remember I was there, Rhea, for that. And you guys, she is also the president of Women's Council of Associated Real Property Brokers, one of our sponsors. And you guys, I just want to say personally, Rhea is somebody that I admire so much, you guys. She is so much about Black wealth. She is totally about Black home ownership. I watch her, you guys, lead us in Women Council. And I'm just so proud and honored to be part of your group. And I'm so proud and honored that you are here with us today. I mean, I look up to you. You have no idea how much I look up to you. And I thank you for all of your service to our community. You know what? I want to cry. But no, I really, really do look up to you. I really do. And thank you so much for all that you do for us. You guys have no idea how much she does for us. So thank you for that. And thank you for being here. So I'm not going to cry. So here is Miss Rhea Cotton.
Oh, Wavette. Thank you so much, Wavette. And I think Wavette is just like the answer to my prayers when it comes to Women's Council. We do a lot of educational seminars, and Wavette, in all of the things that she does, she still has time to be our education chair and lead our financial and home buying workshops. So it's amazing. I always give you your kudos when we're in our board meetings. I was like, Wavette is like a powerhouse. That's what we need, and that's what this is all about, is us all working together. And so in my presentation today, we're talking about investing out of state, and part of investing out of state, out of our comfort zone, out of what we're familiar with or what we can have access to, is building a network and being able to rely on one another in order to reach those goals. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, and you can see my screen, okay, invest out of state. Okay, great. So, so today we're going to talk about investing out of state: who, why, where, what, and how. Okay, so first we want to start off with the who. So as Wavette mentioned, I am a California real estate broker, but I have invested out of state. And so who do I use to invest with? So just to give you a little background about the Women's Council of Associated Real Property Brokers, we are a subsidiary of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. So we were founded, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers was founded in 1947 when we could not be realtors. We became realtists and started the what's called NAREB, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. And from that organization, the genesis of Women's Council of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers was born, out of finding a way for actually women to incorporate themselves into the movement as real estate professionals. So we began the Women's Council of NAREB in 1971. So with our organization, you can not only be a real estate broker, you can be a real estate agent, and a tax advisor, accountant, contractor, anyone that is interested in supporting African Americans and democracy and housing and the move towards home ownership and increasing home ownership. We welcome you to be a part of our organization. So in Northern California, we have an Oakland chapter, and our Oakland chapter consists of a local also NARAB chapter called Associated Real Property Brokers. So both of us, both organizations together work legislatively and in the community to increase home ownership. So when we talk about investing out of state, who do we go to find out about properties, about communities, about the states that are thriving and where they're thriving in their within that state? And so we work with our other local board members. So what I have here is just to give you an example of the chapters that we have within the Women's Council of NARAB. We have even more chapters than just our parent organization, NARAB, but this is our Women's Council. So we work with each other, partnering and referring and sharing market information in order to have an insight on various different areas of which we would like to invest. And so I welcome you all to visit our national website or our local chapter and get in touch with us for a particular state that you may be interested in. So invest out of state. So the first question is, why should we invest out of state? Well, ideally, we're in California. I'm assuming everybody on this call is from California. We're talking about investing out of California. Hopefully everybody is in California, because we're talking about outside of California. And so we know within California, most times we are looking to invest outside is because of the price. So purchase price, appreciation rates, mortgage expenses, taxes, housing regulations. So there are, when you're looking at investing and depending on how you're investing and you're becoming a landlord, you want to know about the rent regulations in the areas that you're investing in. You know, a lot of people look outside of Oakland to invest in real estate and be landlords because of the ordinances that restrict price increases and all of the rules and regulations around how you can increase prices, how tenants can be moved in and out. So all of that will be factors in where you decide to invest. Also, you're looking at the return on your investment. So if you're looking to buy and hold, or you're looking to flip a property, which we'll talk about a little later, you're looking at what the return on investment is. And we have your financial advisors on the line as part of this organization, the B Movement. So I'm glad that this organization exists and you guys are putting this together, because we need all those moving parts for our people to make sound decisions. Okay, and the next reason to invest out of state is to help increase our generational wealth. And so Black home ownership is at an all-time low compared to post-segregation. So our home ownership numbers are declining, and we actually saw an increase slightly in 2019 in our home ownership rate, but it's just not enough. And so we have to basically diversify our funds effectively in order to make up for the generational wealth that is lacking. And our national organization, if you go to our website, you'll find a Sheba report that we put out every month. And that's the state of housing in Black America. And in that report annually, it gives you the statistics of home ownership in Black America. And so in just reading that report is a motivation to basically invest as much as you can in real estate. The next is to provide opportunity and fair housing. Just imagine how awesome it would be if we as individual or a collective work together to transform blighted neighborhoods and provide home ownership to our community. And we're giving them a fair opportunity to purchase. It's not just about the highest price. You know, there are communities, there's actually areas in Northern California right now that are trying to create investment opportunities where they're developing and using part of their developments for below market rate homes. And below market rate homes are homes that are priced under the market value in order to provide home ownership for low to moderate income people. But it's at a very small percentage. You know, they basically can actually buy out their responsibility to the below market rate housing. And so as I believe as a collective in forming investment groups, we can provide opportunity in housing to our community. And also as a retirement vehicle, I'm not a financial advisor, but as far as out-of-state investing, my goal for myself is to retire pretty soon here. So still being a broker, but I want to be a non-producing broker. I want to support other people in their real estate profession. And in order for me to do that effectively, I personally decide I would want to retire and not be a producing broker and help support others. And so that's all part of, everybody's individual goals are different. So I just wanted to share some information from Roofstock. So there are some companies like Roofstock that actually create investment groups. So Roofstock is a company that creates investment groups. So they actually go out and seek out properties for individuals to invest in. And so if you don't want to put the group together, you can actually invest in a company like Roofstock, and they will tell you, you select your property and they'll tell you what your return is based on your investment. So, so their website has provided some of the top 10 markets which to best invest in real estate. And so you can see them here. It's North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Austin, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Dallas, Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina, and the list goes on. So those are some of the their top 10. Then they have what's called the magnet market. So cities in the magnet market are those that are growing more quickly than the US average, acting as magnets for both people and companies. So, Atlanta is always, for California, Atlanta and Houston has been really big for the California market as far as moving, but you have some of the top ones are Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Phoenix, San Antonio, and so on. So you can have that. And then while everybody can receive a copy of the presentation, or I think this is being recorded, yes. So you'll have the video as yes. Well. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what are you going to invest in? So based on your individual goals, you can decide what it is that you want to invest in. So you may want to invest in a fix and flip. So if you invest in a fix and flip, that is going to take you basically having your team in place in order to make a profit and make it quickly. So you're purchasing a property, you're renovating it and selling it right after renovation. So in that instance, your real estate professional will need to work with you to help you create a team in that state. So you have your contractors, your plumbers, electricians, the contractors may have subcontractors. You may decide to have someone that is a project manager. One thing that I advise when you're doing fix and flips is there are permits that are involved in doing a fix and flip. So you want to have someone that has a good relationship in the city. So if you're working with a real estate professional, you want to have one that has a good relationship with the city planning department, because that person is going to be able to move your project along. They're going to know all the politics within that city in order to make your investment profitable. And then you have something similar to the fix and flip, which is the BRRRR method. And the BRRRR method is to buy, renovate, rent, and repeat. So in this scenario, you are actually taking a property that could potentially be a rental property, and you're renovating it, not only renovating it, but renting it out at top market rent. So that is more attractive to investors. So the fix and flip, you can be investor, you can be it could be a primary homeowner. We talked about earlier, I talked about fair housing and providing opportunities to the community with the fix and flips. Our organization also works with HUD counseling agencies throughout the nation that have pre-approved buyers ready to purchase. But you also have the buy, renovate, rent, and repeat for investors that are looking to buy rental properties, but already have the tenants in at top market rate, and they don't want to go through, let's say, working with a property manager. Whereas with the buy and hold, you are buying and holding usually for 5 years or longer. In that instance, you would need a property manager. You would need a property manager in order to basically qualify your tenants, check on the property, address any concerns that the tenant may have inside the property. You definitely don't want to have to, fly to get to where, but sometimes people do fly in because some of the we talked about where to invest. Well, most of the times we invest in areas at which we are familiar. So it may be a town that you're from where you have family members and you go out to that state often. For me, it's Houston. My daughter is currently at Prairie View A&M University in Texas. And so my interest is in Houston because she's in school out there. She may decide to reside out there after graduation. I hope she does, but who knows? And then I have my brothers actually live in Katy, Texas. I have cousins in Houston. So initially that was something familiar to me and something I had a vested interest in. And therefore that was something I sought out first, was Houston, Texas. So your buy and hold could be multifamily, single family, condominiums, apartments. When we talk about multifamily, we're usually talking about 2 to 4 units, properties. And I have a guest with me. So I'm going to talk about my investment in Houston, but another series that we had last year, I brought in someone from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, another area that I'm looking into. So I have him coming up in just a second to share some information with you guys about investing in Milwaukee. How to invest, all cash. Your investment groups. I started an investment group with some family and friends. And the one thing I thought about when I started this investment group, and just a lot of people were asking me to start one, and I was real reluctant. I was like, that's a lot of pressure. Everybody's going to ask where their money is every month. How often is it going to work? How often are we going to meet? Are they going to go out to the properties? Am I going to do everything? So I actually found a group called Tribevest, tribevest.com. And Tribevest is an online platform for investment groups with family and friends. And so what Tribevest does is you start off your tribe. They set up your LLC and bank account when you start up the tribe. And then all of the documents are on a platform. All of the voting that happens are seen through this platform. And so for me, it gave me comfort being that everybody could go online and see where we were, what are we looking at as far as investments, and vote accordingly. So although I could provide that to them myself, just culturally, honestly, I just have to say, I just wanted everybody to be able to trust everybody and to be transparent about everything. And so I wanted to find that platform for transparency to get over that barrier, which is sometimes a barrier that we have in people being transparent or knowing what is going on with a transaction and having any concerns. And so that was my hesitancy at first to start it. And I was like, I can't think like that. I have to move forward. I have people that are wanting to invest. I, educate people on home ownership, generational wealth, investing. I have to be a part of the group movement. And so that platform helped me with that. You have private money investors. So a lot of times people kind of lump private money investors sometimes with subprime lending in the past, but private money investors do have some lending options for buying individually. They have bulk options where you can actually, let's say, get after you build your portfolio, you can get $5 million for them to purchase multiple properties at one time. So as you grow with your private money lenders, your investment and the amount that you can invest with them grows as you build the relationship with them. And they also have private money lenders do have 30-year fixed mortgages for investment purchases as well. So, and then of course you have your mortgage lenders as well. So this is a purchase in Houston. So I have a hashtag, which is building blocks of equity. So initially, when I started the building blocks of equity hashtag, it was basically looking to take land and build. And that started within California. So within California, as we know, the housing market is crazy, and it's been taking a lot of hard work from real estate professionals to get first-time home buyers into homes, especially ones that have minimal down payment or are looking for down payment assistance. And so with building blocks of equity, my goal was to educate people about building from the ground up. There is an FHA product that first-time home buyers can use that allow them to have 3.5% down and allow them to purchase lots as well as build for their primary residence. But in this building blocks of equity, I'm going a step further through my relationships, through the Women's Council of National Associated Real Estate Brokers. I'm not only able to look for investment opportunities, but I'm able to partner with other African-American real estate professionals in that area to help renovate this complex. So this is a condo complex. And so I started doing some research, looking for condos that were in between my drive from the Houston airport to my daughter's school in Prairie View in Waller County. And I came across this condo. And so a lot of people are like, how did you find a $40,000 condo? Honestly, I just woke up one day and I said, I'm going to find 10, 50,000 or less condos. I'm going to purchase them all cash within the next few years. And I'm going to look at their appreciation rates. And by the time, and my estimated projection is within 7 to 10 years from me purchasing it, I will have at least $1,000 in net income generated minimum from each of those properties as retirement income. So I woke up with that notion, and then I just did my search, 50,000 and less, and I just waited. I waited like, okay, I don't see anything, and up pops this condo. And actually, there were a couple others that have popped up that I didn't catch that investors did that were between 33 to 40,000 late last year. So then I purchased this one a few months ago, and then there's a couple more that just went on the market. I backed out of one because it just had way too many mold issues, but just looking at this complex and meeting I went out there, and because I visited my daughter, and I met some of the people that live in there, and I'm about to tell you how much they're paying in rent, but they have some serious slumlords in this complex. And I also reached out to the owners of other owners of this complex to see if we could pull together and reach out to the homeowners association to improve the exterior of these units. And I know that they would be interested because they have recently just purchased these properties themselves. There's been tons of purchases within here. So I'm constantly on the phone with the property management company. They just had a new property management company purchase take over managing this building not even a year ago. But also I mentioned Women's Council. So my property manager is the president of our Women's Council nationally. And so she's on it too. So once she walked through, she said, oh yeah, we're going to get this property management company. But just imagine, right now it's at 40,000. Just imagine if I think there's 210 units. Just imagine if a group of investors all came together and took over a large proportion of this complex, not only maybe to buy and hold, but to renovate and provide and resell it to people in our community. And although this is a rough area, I'm about to show you how it's going to change. So part of looking into out-of-state investing is doing your own research. So if you're anything like me, even though a real estate agent tells you something or any professional tells you something, you do your own research because we have the internet, right? So through the internet, one source is Rentometer. So on Rentometer, I can go online and look up within 2-mile radius of the complex to see what the rents are. So average rent for a 2-bedroom within this area is $1,089. Okay. And then Rentometer provides you a report with all of the recent properties that have been rented out. And as you can see, they're all within January and February. There's a lot of movement within January of this year. So that is something to remember if you don't know about it already, Rentometer. The next thing I did was I looked at a report on what's called Neighborhood Scout. So Neighborhood Scout is another tool that you can use. And Neighborhood Scout, this is just a snapshot, but Neighborhood Scout gives a full breakdown of this neighborhood. I put in the address and it breaks down economics, the housing market. Right here, we have the appreciation trends and forecast. For me personally, this was a buy and hold. So although within the 3-year forecast, 2020 to 2024, it shows that the appreciation would decline over the next 10 years, over the next 3 years, I plan to hold it longer than that. So that was not an issue for me in purchasing it. And also just basically looking at the fact that the rents are $1,000. Homeowners Association was about $348. And then the annual taxes were about $1,000. And then my annual insurance for the property was about $400. This is another snapshot that Neighborhood Scout provides. So they're just giving information about the neighborhood. And at the bottom, it says demand for real estate in this neighborhood is above average for the US and may signal some demand for either price increases or new construction of residential products for this neighborhood, okay? And they're spot on, because I'm going to skip this, because just 3 minutes away, we have a new development popping up right here. So this new development is 3-bedroom, 3-bath. It's selling for $250,000. And as you can see, it's just 3 minutes away from this condo complex. So that Neighborhood Scout report is spot on, because there is new construction. In addition to Rentometer, I decided to join the Houston Rental Housing Association. So I get updates on housing in Houston through that organization. And I signed up with the Houston Housing Authority. So I joined a meeting for the Houston Housing Authority virtually. And basically they break down, this is like Section 8, what your housing payments would be based on what area you're in. So I am in this basically is breaking down the income levels. So this neighborhood that I just showed you guys was the 93%. So if you go 93%, and that property was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square feet. And the rents for 2 bedrooms is $1,018. So if I go Section 8, or if it's on the open market, I'm pretty spot on with my goal as far as what I expect to receive in rental income. And then once again, I mentioned that I was looking for a property manager. And so that's where we talk about working together and empowering one another. Our president of the Women's Council is my property manager. She's not only a real estate broker, but she also owns a property management company. She will be facilitating my upgrades in the apartment condo. I basically bought new flooring, partial new flooring for the bedrooms, and some. I'm doing some stucco work. I'm replacing the blinds, but it was pretty much in move-in condition. So I want to hand it over to Don. So Women's Council of Associated Real Property Brokers, we have an ongoing in real life series where we take real life scenarios and we share them like I'm doing tonight to encourage others to invest and to build their real estate portfolio. So after our fix and flip networking mixer last year, Mr. Don Bond, are you on the line, Don?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. So Don came to he's a really smart guy. I met him at an open house in California. And he shared with me that he was licensed in both Wisconsin and California. And he is introducing California investors to the Wisconsin market. And so we had him on a live, and Helena, which is our second vice president of membership, purchased her investment property, which was a duplex with Don. And I'm going to let Don take it over from here.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So my name is Don Bond, like James Bond, and I am a real estate agent in Oakland, California, and I'm a real estate broker in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I own my own firm. It's called Ideal Realty. And I do have 8 agents that work for me, and we're doing pretty well. I've been in business for a year now, right before COVID. But what I specialize in is hooking up California investors with Milwaukee real estate, because I saw the need, working out in California. I saw the need for people to own investment property, and I saw how hard it was and how untangible it was for everyone to buy property in California, because for one thing, it's extremely overpriced right now, and you're not really going to get a very attractive return or cash flow. So what I did was I started the firm, I started a property management company, and we got to work finding deals, marketing to investors in California. And like Rhea just said, one of my investors by the name of Helena Jones, she bought a property, a nice 2-bedroom upstairs, 2-bedroom downstairs duplex, and it's been renting out. It's been going pretty smooth ever since October. It's rented. We haven't had any vacancies. She hasn't had little to none work orders or anything like that. So she's been cash flowing, and ever since she bought, a couple of her husband's co-workers who work at OPD, they just got into contract. I'm working with a few other real estate brokers in California. They bought about 4 duplexes from me, and I just met with an investor. I was actually in California yesterday. I just flew back. I met with an investor. He's looking to buy about 10 duplexes. So people, once they see how good the return is, they come back for another one. No one just buys one property. And so regarding the property management company, I work with about 4 other people. We handle snow removal, lawn maintenance, all the work orders, people moving in, moving out. So all of the work that you wouldn't want to do as an investor, we make sure that everything is handled from start to finish. We provide the investor with monthly statements, so you see exactly money coming in, money going out, where everything is going, and even a projection of how your money is working for you, the increase in your property value, potential rent increases, and then a pro forma of how your money's performing over the year. And if you ever want to sell, I can easily sell your property either on the market or off market to another California investor. So essentially, we are a one-stop shop for investors who want to put their cash to work, not have it sitting in the bank. You buy either 1, 2, or 3 properties and just see how it works. You're going to not only get hit with the appreciation, you're getting the cash flow and all the wonderful tax write-offs that comes with it. And now you could sell your property in California and do a 1031 exchange and avoid all of those capital gains and just roll it over. So I actually have a short slideshow if you are able to allow me to share my screen with you. All right. So the concept, does everyone see? So the concept is called Invest in the Midwest with Ideal Realty. That's the name of my firm. So Ideal it's a double contundra, like Ideal Real Estate, Ideal Cards. So these are just a few examples of some of the properties that investors out of state have taken advantage of. Wisconsin is a very, 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 let me repeat, very landlord friendly state. It's nothing like California. There are no crazy rental laws, rent control, Costa Hawkins, none of that stuff. If someone doesn't pay, unfortunately they're out. And it's a very simple process of getting them out. So why Milwaukee? Milwaukee has a huge projection for growth. Oh, I'm sorry, let me go back. A huge projection for growth. It is the number 1 largest city in Wisconsin, the third largest city in the Midwest, only being passed by Chicago and Detroit. It's about 90 miles north of Chicago. A major renovation began in Milwaukee in the early 2000s, the largest since the 60s. But however, in the last 5 years, we've seen a lot of new things come to Milwaukee, like the Northwestern Mutual headquarter building is located downtown. They just built a new stadium for the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not sure if you guys know Giannis Antetokounmpo, but he is the number 1 paid NBA player in the whole league, over LeBron, over Steph, and he's in Milwaukee. And the only reason why a city would spend that much money to keep a player is because they see the growth in the city. And any real estate within a 10-block radius of that new stadium, damn near 10 times in value in the last 2 years. So if you see that type of development coming, you gotta be in front of it. So the metro population is 1.5 million. 40% of that is renters. So we have a very, very high renter population, which is why the prices are low, but the rents are high. So this is an example of an Oakland property. You got a 2-bedroom, 2-2 duplex renting for $2,400 a month for $610,000, which probably went up in the last 3 months. But here's a few examples of Milwaukee properties. You got a single family home, 143,000, rent $1,200 a month. Condo, 45,000, rent $1,000 a month. HOA probably about 200 to 250. Duplex, price 189, rent 1625 for both units per month. And you see the beautiful architecture. That's called a French Tudor for those who want to know what the architecture is. So fourplex, price 270, total gross rent $2,800 a month. So the numbers speak for themselves. The main objective for why people won't invest out of state is because they're not familiar with the area. They don't have someone that they can trust there that's going to make sure that the property is well maintenance and taken care of, or simply because they never heard of it. So I'm here to educate you on investing in Milwaukee. I'm here to take all of the property management headache and dealing with all the tenants off of your hands, and I'll deal with all of that, and I make sure it's automated. And all you do is either get your Zelle or your Venmo, or I can mail you a check, or I can deposit in your account, however you want to receive your money. That's the only thing you really have to worry about. And right now, my business is growing so fast, and I have so many, which actually is a great problem. I have so many investors that are all lined up, and everyone wants, essentially the same thing. And the market here in Milwaukee is similar to the market in California, to where there aren't a lot of deals. So, which it caused me to be more proactive. And I have a team, and we're finding more off-market deals and sending out letters, postcards, making phone calls to make sure that we are able to have a supply for the demand, of California investors. And I'm not doing this necessarily to make a lot of money, because there's not a lot of money in property management. I'm doing it so I can help California investors to see that Milwaukee is the next up and coming city, and if you can get in early, then you will see that you'll feel that appreciation, and over the next 10 years, your property will pay for itself. And like Rhea was saying, if we get enough of our money together, we can go in on something big and reap, bigger rewards from what we put in. For instance, 5 years ago, a building downtown Milwaukee sold for $7 million to an investor in Chicago. To this day, it is appraised at 20 million. That's something that I would have liked to get ahead of, but I missed out. So I refuse to allow that to happen again. So I have investors behind me, and when I see a deal that I know for sure is a gem, I make sure I call them, and we buy it right away. So if anyone is interested in investing in Milwaukee, please feel free to give me a call. My phone number is 414-248-5437. Again, that's 414-248-5437. And my email is agentdonbond@gmail.com. Just let me know, who you are, and we can schedule a Zoom or a phone call, and we can talk more about your investing goals. And I would love to help everyone to be able to own a cash flowing property out of state. And you can feel how easy it is to not have to worry about your property, to know that the agent down line has everything taken care of.
Oh my God, you guys, this is so amazing, as I knew it would be. Everybody's texting me. This is the best thing ever. We do have a couple of questions though, okay? So let me go back to the chat, because I did see a couple of questions. Don, can you say a little more about why buying in Milwaukee was happening? Well, I think you already did that.
Yeah, that was before the presentation.
Let me see. One says, can you give an example? How much were the investments? What's the cash flow? I'm excited.
Yeah, well, me personally, I own 6 properties, and I acquired them all since August, since my birthday. I turned 23 August 24th, and since that was when I bought my first property. Since then, I bought 6 properties, 2 of them in which are flips. So I plan to sell them in the next 60 days. So I'll give you an example of a property that me and my brother bought. We paid $190,000 for the property. When I showed up to the property, it was 12 realtors and their clients lined up down the street. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to fight for this one. And they were asking 180. We offered 200,000. The way that we pay 190 is, during the inspection contingency, a couple things wrong. We negotiated the price down. So the purchase price was 190. The mortgage is about $1,200. The lower rents for 1,200. The upper rents for 1,100. So the cash flow is 1,100. Another property I paid $48,000 for it. It's a single family. I rent out it's a 3-bedroom. I rent out each room for 500. So it rents for 1,500. That cash flow is about 1,000. The flip, I paid, so it's 2 flips. One of the flips, I bought them for $115,500. Going to put about $25,000 into it. Plus the hard money fees, we're in it about 150. I'm gonna sell that one for 199. The other flip, I paid $80,000. We're gonna put 40 into it. I'm gonna sell that one for 230. So the numbers make sense. If not, I wouldn't have been doing it. So I'm leading by example.
Yes.
And,
Yes, you are.
yeah, and a year ago from today, I didn't own any properties.
Wow.
Now I own 6. So
Wow.
it's just showing.
Don, can you give the quick story about your family house?
Oh yeah, so my first house that I bought, I actually bought it for $1. And how did I do that? Because I wrote a proposal to the city. And originally in my proposal, I was going to ask them to give me the house for free and pay me to help me fix it. But I'm like, no, maybe I should just stick to asking for it for free. And I asked, and they didn't tell me no at first, but they didn't tell me yes. But I just kept being persistent and calling down there, sending emails until eventually they told me, yeah, they had a meeting with the Common Council, all of the they call them aldermen in Wisconsin, but the city council members, and they said, yeah, we'll give Mr. Bond his house back for $1. And the house was previously owned by my dad, and he lost it to foreclosure because when he inherited from my great uncle, it was back taxes about like 4 or 5 years. Then it caught fire, which caused my dad to lose it. And it was actually his mom's house, my grandmother, and then it was her dad's house, my great grandfather. So it was in my family for 5 generations. And to just see it sitting there and as an eyesore to the city, halfway burned up, it didn't sit right with me. So one day, it was about this time last year, I sat down and I said, I'm going to ask the city to give me my family's house back. So I wrote the proposal, sent it off. I sent it certified, I sent the email. I just, they had no reason to tell me they didn't get it. And they told me yes. So after they gave it back, the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel decided to have me write an article about me in the paper, and it got really big, and a lot of people saw it and was talking about it. And Kohler, the sink and toilet brand, they reached out to me and they said, we were touched by your article. We would like to supply your project with all new Kohler products. So yeah, I was able to, not only get the house back for $1, but to have assistance from, other organizations on helping me fix it. And the biggest thing for me that this did, it just showed me that it was possible, that I don't have to pay for houses. I can get them from the city for free, as long as you can show that you have the funds available to fix it. Because really you're doing them a favor, and you're fixing these houses that are in distress, making the other houses home value bad, making the city look bad, and you're adding value, giving them property taxes and things of that nature.
Wow. I think all of us on here have just had a great vision stretch
A question,
today. And if
is-
nothing else, you guys make a goal to at least get like at least one. You guys call Dawn. At
Can I
least one, right?
I
So
wanna and with the same kind of situation is going on in Detroit, do you think that that would possibly do the same thing in Detroit? Because there's a lot of family homes that just like that. You think the same thing is, I could probably kind of do that in Detroit?
I think it's definitely possible in Detroit. Detroit is a similar market to Milwaukee. The only thing is you have to make sure, and it's very important, that the crew that you have working on your home is legitimate, that they know what they're doing, that they're not ripping you off. Because with you being all the way across the country and you send your money to get stuff done, you have to make sure that it's actually getting done. And that's the biggest benefit about working with, like me. I'm a part of your organization. I have a fiduciary duty to make sure that everyone is having a pleasant experience with me. My father is a contractor, my preferred contractor that I work with. If he ever gets too busy, I work with other contractors, but I essentially project manage for no cost. I make sure that the work is getting done. They're doing a good quality job in a workman like matter, and that they're not going to be ripping off my investors, because ripping off my investors is essentially ripping me off. I know some of y'all had it happen. If somebody tried to come for your client, they coming for you. So yeah, because I live off of referrals, and as long as you're getting a good experience, then you're going to refer me to someone else. That's why I'm here speaking to you ladies today, because everyone that's dealt with me thus far has had a pleasant experience. So investing in Detroit, I definitely say yes. That's a great way to go. But make sure that whoever you have managing the property and fixing the property are reputable.
thank you. And Ria and Don, I want to thank you guys so much. Ria, everybody's texting me of how much you have inspired them. Don, you got us all thinking. You have just blown our mind. Believe me.
I'm so glad we were able to have Don
Yes.
on. He texted me an article about Milwaukee, and I said, hey, get on this call with me.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you ladies have me on today. And in that article, it was talking about how people from California, they're pretty much pissed that people from California are changing the neighborhoods, buying up all the properties. And this group from Silicon Valley, they bought up about 133 properties last year.
Wow.
Yeah, so same thing that's happening in the Bay Area with
Right.
foreign investors is buying up everything. I hate to be the cause of it, but actually, it's just how you look at it. I'm helping people who normally wouldn't own investment properties own investment property, and our people. So we are, if people here feel like they're losing out or being taken from, then they need to get in position to buy these affordable properties too.
Yeah. Well, once again, thank you. Oh, somebody has a question, I think. Does somebody have a question? I think I saw a hand.
Yeah, I do. Hi,
Yes.
my name is Emily Hill. Thank you guys for all this information. I really appreciate it. I just had a quick question. I recently picked up some properties in Pennsylvania, and I was wondering if there was any help out there, like any people I can network with, to help with like construction and stuff like that. Do you guys know anybody?
Yeah, I could give you my information, and then I can reach out to our national directory and get some of the realtors in that area to help you out. So let me just put my email in the chat.
With the property having to be in Philadelphia?
No, it's more central Pennsylvania.
Okay, yeah.
You know somebody, Don?
What's that?
No, I was saying, you know somebody, Don, that can
I know
help her?
someone in Philly, unfortunately not all over Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Mhm.
Okay, you guys, we will send everybody a copy of this recording. And I'm sure we're gonna have to have you guys come back. I'm sorry, but more people need to hear this. This is an amazing session. So I can say right now, Dawn, we'll be calling you again because more people need to
Please do.
hear this information.
Amazing.
You guys, it's all about Black wealth, right? And you guys, to get there, we need to be investing out of state. Absolutely, absolutely. So to Miss Rhea
And
Cotton,
Wavette, we're working with, you guys are working with Women's Council. So just to let you know, we are having another In Real Life series coming up. It should be in June, where we're gonna track back on the people that we had first go round. So, so there is another one that's
Okay.
coming up.
awesome. And Helena, you have my slide. Also, you guys, on Saturday, we have our home buying workshop. We do the first time home buyers workshop, the fourth Saturday of the month. You guys, please send people our way. Once again, guys, it is our goal, you guys, to increase Black home ownership. We have great sponsors. This Saturday, we are going to have Union Bank on, along with our realtors, Winwood. So for any first-time home buyers, you guys, please send them our way. They can register at arpbwomenscouncil.com. It'll be from 10:30 a.m. on Saturday till 12:30 p.m. So you guys, please, let's make sure that we get our family, our friends, our coworkers, you guys, into homes. Rhea said, you guys, Black home ownership is declining. We cannot let that happen, not on our watch. That's why we have these sessions. So we encourage you guys, please, if you're not a homeowner, please come. If you know anybody, you guys, please send them our way. You guys, our mission is Black wealth, period. Black wealth. So thank you, Helena. So once again, guys, thank Ms. Rhea Cotton. Thank you, Don Bond. We appreciate you guys so much. You guys will all get the copy of this recording, you guys. So please reach out to them if you need to. And Rhea and Don will be calling you guys again, okay?
Before we
Okay.
go, we must take a picture.
Okay.
I need everybody to smile. Hold your smiles, please, because my computer's a little slow sometimes. So just keep on holding it. 1, 2, 3. All right, hold on. Don't go nowhere. Let me get the second page. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you. You're muted, Wavette.
Oops. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody.
Amazing,
Everybody stay
amazing.
safe.